There we go. Hi, for those of you coming on, I'm a little bit late. If anyone knows how to set up lives, hold on, I gotta play with this lighting. If anyone knows how to set up lives on the computer, I was going to try to do this on Instagram as well, and it just didn't work out for me. So I have my computer up. Hopefully I can see your questions as they come through. Hey Kristen, I'm glad you can make it. I am navigating the new technologies of this process, so bear with me. Okay, but what are we talking about today? I want to share with you all, especially has been a popular theme with clients, I think as we're approaching summer and we're all knowing that we're going to be wearing a little bit less clothes, showing a little bit more skin, and we want to feel good in the skin that we're in. But I was talking with several of you, and it really made me reflect on my own weight loss journey and what I wish I would have known about weight loss. And just sharing with you, hindsight is always 20/20. I wish that I would have known this, and it would have saved me a lot of pain, a lot of struggle, and a lot of time, because there is an easy way to lose weight, and there are two ways actually, and we'll get into the two ways, but I want to start with a little bit of a story. So when I was in college, this was, I was in nursing school, probably 5-6 years ago, I hired a bodybuilding coach. I had been in the fitness realm and been doing, your bodybuilding diets, and I had started like supplementing with protein, but all my fitness friends were starting to do either like figure or bikini or try fitness challenges where like you had a stage component of, you dieted and you exercised to get your body looking as best as you can, as lean and as muscular. And I wanted to do that because that's what all my friends were doing. So I hired this coach, and I was paying a lot of money, hundreds of dollars a month or more, to this person to give me the perfect diet, the perfect exercise, and he was gonna make me look the way I wanted. And I was so excited. I had been listening to a lot of bodybuilding podcasts and videos and really understanding that if I did what these people told me to do, I could have what it takes to be on stage and to have this body that I coveted. So I hired this coach, and we had been working together for several months, and I had initially seen some weight loss. And the weight loss that I initially saw and could see as we were going along was I was taking my body shape that I already didn't like, and I was just making it smaller. So I was keeping all the weight in my belly and all the weight in the places I didn't want weight, but my arms and legs were getting smaller, and I was getting smaller. But at a certain point, the weight didn't budge, my body didn't budge, and I'd been working with this coach, as I was saying, paying him a lot of money, and I had been weighing every piece of chicken, every scoop of protein, every leaf of kale I was eating. I was counting those carbohydrates, doing everything. I didn't cheat. I didn't miss a workout. I didn't miss a minute of sleep. I was as regimented as I had ever been, and my body wasn't responding. I remember the afternoon, it was a Sunday afternoon, I was talking with this coach, who will go nameless because we're doing the best we can. It's nothing against this coach, and I'll get into this, but he told me, he goes, Jen, he's like, I really like working with you, but you're not gonna see the success that you wanna see until you tell me about the donuts or the pizza or whatever you're doing on the weekends or during the week. He was like, you need to be honest about how you're cheating. And I was like, hold the phone. And I was so ticked. And I got off the phone with him and literally was just like, could not believe it. And at that point I realized, I was like, I thought to myself, I was like, my body's broken. My body can't be trusted. And at that moment I declared war on my body. So for the next several years of my life, I lost weight one of the ways that you can do it. I beat myself to a pulp with cardio. I weighed and measured everything I put in my mouth. I if I was gonna go out to eat on a whim with friends, oh gosh, like I had to take 30 minutes to fit that into my macros calculator and figure out the sodium and figure out how it was gonna affect me. I didn't have a life. I didn't have fun. I didn't have spontaneity. And my body did get to a point to where it'd been the leanest it had ever been for me at the point. But I hated myself. I hated myself every bit of that way. And when I had the body for me that I wanted, and no, I had underlying hormonal and thyroid issues. I did not ever get on a stage. My body composition wouldn't do it. And I'm so glad, but I'll get into that. But even when I looked amazing. Like looking at pictures, I hated myself. And I hated myself because I was doing it in a way that wasn't sustainable. Because as soon as I stopped meticulously counting my food, as soon as I stopped, getting up and doing this fasted cardio and doing this kind of lift and this nutrient timing and this and this and this, it all fell apart. And I blew up like a balloon. But what was going on is I had this underlying toxicity and these pathogens causing hormonal imbalance, thyroid disease, endometriosis, PCOS, fibromyalgia. I know those of you who I've worked with, my list of autoimmune issues that I had, and they were just starting. I wasn't like sick, but something was going on. So there are 2 ways that you can lose weight. And this is what I wish someone would have told me. I don't think I would have listened, but this is what I've learned. And a lot of you that I'm working with right now, we're really talking about weight loss as like, when am I going to lose weight? When am I going to lose weight? So let me get into my journey after that. So after nursing school, I had this like regimen that I did, and I got into CrossFit, and I started eating paleo. And that was pretty cool because I lost some inflammation, and I started really liking my body for how strong it was and for what it could do, no longer what it looked like. So CrossFit really helped me in developing and embracing a new relationship with my body. Hey, Becca. But I was starting to get more sick and nothing was changing. And then I got even bigger, and I got to the biggest I'd ever been. And the biggest I'd ever been is about 15, 20 pounds than I am now, more than I am now. And the biggest important piece of that is I didn't feel good in my skin. I just felt like I was carrying extra, and I didn't feel like myself. And I didn't feel like I could just wake up and freely move and embrace my body. And like if we were going to go to the pool that day, I was like all stressed out about like, do I look bloated? Do I look puffy? It was stressful. So I hadn't quite understood what was going on in my body. And soon after that, I started to get really sick and discovered my Hashimoto's, my hormonal imbalances, my endocrine issues, everything that I had going on in my body. And that's when I discovered the second way to losing weight. So the first way, you can beat yourself to a pulp with cardio. You can track and measure all of the carbs and proteins and fats and everything you're putting into your body. And I know there's a lot of bodybuilders, current or former, on this page, and it does work. I mean, you do the things and you look pretty freaking good. But I couldn't get out of bed, and I definitely couldn't have done a CrossFit workout. And I get it. Bodybuilding's a sport, and to train that way, there is a level of, you have to deplete your body before a show in certain ways. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about long-term health. And we can talk a little bit more about bodybuilding later. But there's that way to lose weight, and there's that way to get yourself a body. The second way to lose weight that's going to work, that's going to be effortless, and to give you long-term lasting results is to heal your body. And I know firsthand how it is to feel at war with your body, to, like I talked about, that time that I was counting every macro and calorie and exercise. I hated my body so much. I thought, I can't trust you, body, and I'm at war. Like, I didn't understand that our bodies naturally, and thicker girls hear me out on this because I didn't believe it either. Naturally, we have a healthy, lean body. Yes, we might have different hips than our sister or our friend or whoever, or we might naturally be really thin, and that's okay. But our body's natural homeostasis that it loves is a lean, thin, healthy body. And that thin, when I say that, that looks a little bit different on everyone. But we don't have to be at war with our bodies. Losing weight should be a simple, easy, intuitive process. And it starts with healing your body. So let's go through the pyramid of health. Physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. I know a lot of you that we talk about this. So physically, that's where you and I can get really technical together. We can look at your food, because first and foremost, we have to pull out the inflammatory food sources that are causing inflammation in your body. That's your weight gain. You can go to my blog and read the post. I'll link it in the comments when we get off of here. You're not fat, you're inflamed. That's exactly what's going on. You're not fat. Your body can be trusted. Your body isn't this genetic monster that just is out to ruin any hopes and dreams you have of feeling comfortable in a swimsuit. That's not how it works. Your body wants to be the body that you want it to have. Your body wants to look and feel good just like you do. But the way of going about it might be a little bit different than we've ever thought. So physically healing your body, that looks like the right food for you, the right supplements, and not even supplements that are going to promote weight loss, supplements that are going to detox your liver, open up your lymph system, give you the nutrients that you need to boost your immune system. Weight loss, we look at it from a bottom-up approach, protein this kind of cardio, this kind of food counting, but top down, we're looking at what do we need to do to heal the body, to reduce the inflammation, to boost the immune system, and let the body do its thing. Your body will naturally lean out and tone. And yeah, exercise is important, but if you're autoimmune or you're chronically ill, or if you're majorly depressed, you can't go do these killer marathon workouts. They're gonna make you gain weight because they're gonna increase your cortisol. So exercise for weight loss might not look like the 6 to 7 day a week cardio and lifting bodybuilder plan. Exercise for weight loss is probably gonna look like more hot yoga, moderate intensity lifting 3 days a week, and maybe one HIIT workout, maybe 2. But that depends on how your immune system is recovering. So healing the body is going to get you the weight loss you need. And if you're encountering weight loss resistance, it's almost always a liver detoxification issue. So for me in my healing journey, fast forward, got really sick, found out all my autoimmune conditions, went paleo, that helped. And then I had to do something else. I was eating paleo, keto, kind of somewhere in the middle, and I was getting worse and worse and worse, taking all these supplements, spending more money on supplements than it was my mortgage. It was nuts. And I was not getting any better. I was getting worse. Not eating fruit because it had too much sugar. Not eating carbohydrates because that was going to make I was pre-diabetic at 25 as a CrossFit athlete. And so I didn't touch carbohydrates. And if I did, it was at a certain time, a certain amount, and I feared them. And I always felt like, I better be careful with the carbohydrates. So something had to change. And I found what that was. And then my body really started to shift. Now, hear me out. I didn't lose weight. And this is for a lot of clients. I know some of you said you're going to have to catch the replay. So this is really, really important. I didn't lose weight for probably 6 months. When I first initially started, remember when I started a paleo diet, I lost initial weight because I got rid of gluten, dairy. I think I stopped eggs too. And I lost pounds of inflammation like that. And that's just your lymph system draining. And we can talk more about that. But I was healing my body. And for once I surrendered. I wasn't working. Okay. I was couch ridden sick, wasn't working out, just was doing diet. And I finally said, I don't care what my body looks like anymore. I care what my body feels like. And that made all the difference. But I didn't lose weight for 6 months, probably nothing. Actually, my shape started to change. I couldn't work out. So, I was used to this very strong, muscular, bigger in my legs and booty than I was in my belly. And my belly started to get a little bit more rounder. And my booty started to shrink and frown. I call it my frowning butt cheeks when I'm not squatting. Got to make them smile, got to get back in the gym. But I couldn't, I was sick. And what was really cool is when I finally surrendered losing weight and just I want to heal my body. I want to love my body and wake up every day and just feel good, everything changed. I mean, I still had some insecurities, of course, we all do. But it was at that point, about that 6 to 9 month mark in my healing journey, like literally, I woke up one day and I was like, where did the weight go? And people started to be like, wow, Jen, you've lost a lot of weight. What have you been doing? And my response, I swear to God, and probably some of you remember this because we've been friends for a while, is me saying, nothing. I've been doing the same thing I've been doing for the last 6-8 months in my life, because that's how the liver works. You have to go through so much cleansing and purging, and some people it takes 3 weeks. One of my clients, I was joking with you yesterday, you know who you are, we were laughing because she said, it's been like a week and a half since we've been working together, 2 weeks. I lost 2 pounds. Wonderful. My husband's lost 5. I'm like, men sneeze and they lose weight. Estrogen has an affinity for fat cells, and they're like besties, and they hang out. And so that makes it harder for women to lose weight. But in our fat cells is where the toxicity is stored. All the things we're trying to detox. And the liver, for the liver to cleanse, the liver does like the survey of the whole body, and the liver is our superhero. If we're ingesting heavy metals, putrid plastics, anything toxic, I mean, our air, water, food, we know all of this. Our liver knows, holy crap, I can't have that toxic chemical floating around in the body, getting to the brain, the heart, the lungs, vital organs. I'm going to store it in here. So for weight loss to happen, the liver has to detox. For the liver to detox, the rest of your body has to be a clean environment, because the liver is super smart and it knows, if I release this toxin, the rest of the body has to be clean enough and pure enough so that when I release it, the body can get it excreted out. Because if your blood is toxic, that's why I talk a lot about our blood needing to be thin and oxygenated to heal. The liver's not going to release anything. And if the liver won't release anything, we can't lose weight, because it really is liver dependent. So this brings me to the point, like I said, surrendered. I was like, I don't care about weight loss anymore. And then it happened because I focused on healing my body. But what was really cool in that process is I learned to love my body. I had never liked my body, even in the times that I was young 20s. I looked like a bodybuilder. I did. I never would have got up on a stage because I still had a sluggish thyroid that little bit of belly fat would have got me picked apart. But for me, gosh, I looked amazing and I hated myself. I thought it was so strange. So in this healing journey, lost the weight, got back, up in the gym. I was feeling good again. And it was a really, really cool process. Because now I had, going back to that first way to lose weight, now I had the control to, if I wanted to manipulate the calories and the carbs and the exercise, and I never went low carb, and those of you who we work together, you know that, but maybe I would have taken away 200 calories out of my day. So I did this now with this healthy body that worked for me. And I got those summer abs, and this is so funny to me. And I remember this was not long ago, that I finally had this body that I worked so hard for, and I got around all my friends, and it was summertime, we were at the pool, and I just was waiting for everyone to notice, and no one even noticed. Everyone was like, oh, you look good, Jen, must feel good, it's so funny how we view ourselves in our heads and what we tell ourselves is wrong with us. But just remember, there's 2 ways to lose weight, and we went into all the specifics, all the mechanics. You can beat yourself down, cardio, with counting every macro and every protein, everything that goes in your body, restricting carbohydrates. It'll work. But as soon as you go back to living your life and being free in the body that you were given, the weight's going to come back on. But if you heal your body physically, so we went into the physical, it's about liver detox, then in oxygenated blood, getting yourself healthy. But what about emotional? So you can be doing your food perfectly. You can be eating all the right things. And I'm never really a fan of tracking your food. I would rather take you through the journey of why are you craving what you're craving. If the body wants something, give it to it. But this is the emotional healing part. And I resonate with this a lot. Sometimes I put on weight, 5-10 pounds here and there, because my emotions are misaligned, or I'm not paying attention to what my emotions are telling me. I like to eat when I'm nervous. I like to eat when I feel lonely. And I like to eat when, I just like to eat. But I like to eat to kind of numb myself out. I remember going through about over like a year and a half ago, a really, really, really hard time emotionally in my life. And on the weekends, when I would feel that loss in my life and it really would hit me hard, I would like to eat a big, huge meal full of soothing foods. Now, these are the foods that were still appropriate for my body, still in, low inflammatory. There's no gluten, there's no dairy, nothing like that. But I'd make a big meal just to sedate myself. And then I started gaining back weight. And that's the emotional piece. If we're carrying stored and trapped emotions in our body that we haven't gone within to heal and sat with ourselves, we either turn to food or we're repulsed by food. So there's really two kinds of stress eaters. There's eaters who we love to eat to cover up our emotions. And then there's eaters who are people under stress who food is something that they can't deal with. And that's an adrenaline and a cortisol spike, because when you're super stressed out, you vasoconstrict and your digestive tract slows down and doesn't work. It's not going to process food. And your mind says, no, I can't digest that right now. Or maybe there's a shame response, or there is something emotional around food. But it's really that emotional healing piece too. So when we're hitting that weight loss resistance, yes, there's insulin resistance and there's hormonal imbalance and thyroid disease. And that's what, you and I work on. And that's when in my symptomless program, we dig in and we learn all of those things. We look at the body's hormones. We do the right foods, the right supplements. We look at your lab work. Lab work is amazing. It tells you a lot about your body. But the most important thing is, how do you feel? And if you don't feel good in your skin, then we're not doing something right. And maybe that's an emotional piece. And this is the last thing that I want to bring up, is what is our ideal body? And sometimes we have a number on the scale in our heads, or a certain image, like really thin arms, or for me, I'd really like a bicep vein one day. That's like when those athletes are so lean and strong, they just have like a bicep vein. I joke around, it's my version of a six-pack. But we have this coveted image in our head of this body that we want. But is that in alignment with our body's happiest state? My leanest, my thinnest, when I was, really, I look at pictures, I'm like, gosh dang, like I had it going on, physically, I couldn't get out of bed most days. I was so tired. That doesn't do me any good. My body now, this is my happy point. This is my hypothalamus set point. My hormones, awesome. My blood work looks fantastic. And some fitness experts would pick me apart and make comments about my body. But this is my happy point. And no one's complaining about Nicki Minaj's body, am I right? Or her weight. Like, everyone is so different. Like Nicki Minaj, all those, performers that have all these curves. That's where their body is happy at. What about the runway models who are super slender and lean and very petite, beautiful bodies? That's where they're happy at. And then on the contrary to losing weight, trying to put them on a weight gain diet, shoving all this food that probably their body doesn't want, 3,000, 4,000 calorie diets, maybe their body doesn't want that. And I'll touch on the bodybuilding piece just here for a second as we're wrapping up. And if you guys have any questions, you can start to type those in the comments below. But with the bodybuilding portion, I'm not lying. There's some people who it takes nothing out of them to do. They follow the diets, do the exercise, they look great, and they feel really good. because a lot of times bodybuilding diets are going to get you off of processed food. But the longer, if you watch a bodybuilder's career, you'll usually notice at some point they just don't have it, or it doesn't come as easy as it did. Like they're like, man, I'm really having to adjust my carbs, place my food. And then especially for women, you see them running into hormonal issues. And we start seeing men needing to supplement with testosterone, women whose estrogen and progesterone are out of balance, and it's leading to sluggish thyroid or maybe hyperthyroid. Because the body, I love the way athletes and bodybuilders look. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful and I love it. And I still train to want my body to somewhat replicate that in a way. But the liver, the kidneys, our GI tract, long-term health, unless you're doing a plant-based bodybuilding style, it can't handle that. And even with vegan, plant-based bodybuilders, a lot of times the amount of calories and supplements and things they're having to shove into their bodies is not long-term health. So with that said, I know there's a lot of fitness experts and trainers on this page. Listen to your body and listen to your client's body and get some lab work. If you're ever in doubt, just get some lab work done. Shoot it over to me. I'm happy to look at it. Because your lab work will tell you, but your most important biomarker of your health is your symptoms. How do you feel? Some people, we're so in such misalignment and so out of tune with our body, we don't know what feels good. I was so sick for a period of time, I thought it was normal. It was really sad. But another health professional, fitness expert, we have questionnaires, I have different surveys. If you guys want to use these for your clients too, I know some of you on here are trainers. Happy to share them just to help bring that awareness, because we're all on the same team here. We want people to be healthy. So just examine your symptoms, and with fitness, just know where your happy point is. There are some people who can do it long term, they look good, feel good, and that's great. There's a lot of us who, is that in alignment for ourselves? Is that in alignment for our body? For me, I was trying to be a regional CrossFit athlete and having to train and pound all this food, and my body was like, please stop, please stop. And finally, I listened. Okay, I'll get into some questions. Hi, Jen, is PCOS healed by diet? Yes, PCOS is healed by diet. PCOS and insulin resistance usually go hand in hand. And PCOS is just when our hormones are in imbalance in the body. And what's funny, and it's not funny, but what's hard is we think our hormones are out of balance, so there's something broken. Something's broken inside me. I'm broken, my body can't be trusted. We have to do HRT, hormone replacement therapy, and we have to do all these supplements and then maybe take some medication to correct ourselves, because our body can't be trusted. And even with autoimmune disease, body can't be trusted, body's attacking itself. Same thing with PCOS. Oh, it's genetic. It's my body just somehow got out of balance. But PCOS, it's toxicity in the body. We just need to cleanse the body and it'll heal. There's different stages of PCOS. So there's like stage 1, 2, 3, and 4. I was in an earlier stage, but the symptoms were there. My blood work was congruent with PCOS. Not anymore. Endometriosis, it's gone. That was all hormonal imbalance. And when there's inflammation in the body, and it's like a lot of you have probably heard me use this analogy. So anything hormonal, 9 times out of 10, the body is still making the hormone, or maybe it's not making the hormone, or maybe it's just not conjugating the hormone, and that all takes place in the liver. Healing your liver will change your life. It'll fix almost every single thing in your body. But we think that there's something wrong with us and we have to fix it, but we just have to get back into alignment. So with inflammation in the body, this is anything hormonal, it works like this. So imagine if you go outside with the raincoat on and it's raining. You're inside the raincoat, but you don't get wet. So say this rain coming down is full of hormone and glucose and the things that need to get into the cell. We'll pretend you're a cell inside of a raincoat, and that raincoat is inflammation. So if you're a cell wearing inflammation in the body from a pathogen, a toxin, an emotion, a trauma, we can get into all the reasons, then the cell is just not getting the hormone. The hormone's in the bloodstream, like this rain coming down, that's your bloodstream. There's hormone in the bloodstream, there's glucose, there's the things that it needs, but it's that inflammation that is preventing the cell from getting what it needs. So I hope that helped. Okay, I'm gonna hop off of here. If you guys have more questions, just put them in the comments. I will link a blog post called You're Not Fat, You're Inflamed. And then if you wanna do another live here coming up, send me a DM, or why don't you put some more topics or some more questions in the comments and we can keep this party going. So thanks for joining me today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday.